children continue to be farmed out to other communities. They find Spokane dull. They find Spokane unemployable. And they move on to greener and better pastures, and that's not acceptable to me. I want my children, if they choose to stay here, I want them to have opportunity to stay here. And one of the best ways you can do that is providing for, we're heavily investing in trails and open space and parkland and
sure.
aquatic centers and racing facilities and all kinds of different cultural opportunities. But we also need to make sure we're investing in business so that our children and our grandchildren can make a living wage job should they choose to stay here.
You mentioned all kinds of things when I was looking on your website and stuff. You mentioned youth and minority concerns. Talk to me. What do you mean about youth and minority concerns? How can you help them?
Well, I don't know. People probably don't realize one of the most probably motivating things for me actually to be sitting here today was, as you mentioned, as a lifelong resident in Spokane,
sure.
Growing up here and feeling unempowered. And it's been my passion, and we've made some great strides in trying to empower young people in this community that I don't say are our future, they are our right now. Mm-hmm. So we have, I've created a little council that I work with that's with youth and the youth advisor through the Chase Youth Commission. We are actively working, and we expanded the boards and commissions that they're able to serve on. They serve right next to adults, and they are sharing their youth opinion about where they want Spokane to be, unlike ever before. I've championed some investments in the Valley Hub project, which you probably are familiar with. It's a youth and kind of ministry-driven project to save the sports complex out east of Barker on I-90. And I just believe so passionately we need to not only just play defense in terms of how do we catch these kids once they've gotten in trouble, mm-hmm. But how do we help them out to begin with by providing mentoring and opportunity. And so the Valley Hub project does just that. It allows a wide variety of faith-based, ministry background to support this project where they allow youth to enjoy recreation opportunities, everything from boxing to volleyball. So that's been a wonderful project, but it's about the aquatic center and those kinds of things. So getting youth engaged, and then providing opportunity and alternatives. And so that's been one of my driving passions. And I want to leave this place a better place so that our children feel like somebody cares. They feel like government's listening. And yes. whether it's today, I want a skate park, or tomorrow, I want safer streets. I want our youth to know that government is listening and government does care about them because they are right now. And so that's been a wonderful project. And then the second question you asked, and I've forgotten, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just talking about your interest with youth and minority concerns.
Minorities, thank you. Yeah. Another thing, I'll tell you, one of the most moving moments since I've been in office was interviewing with the AHANA, a minority business organization run by my good friend Ben Cabildo 5 years ago, where there were some pretty frank questions and comments made from the minority community about their feeling that government doesn't care and that government is not receptive. And mm-hmm. so I've been working for the last 4 years not to talk, but to listen and to understand. And so I've attended, all-day conferences. I've gone to many cultural events and celebrations. Just went to a phenomenal one that the Filipino community put on just this last weekend in the Manitou Park. And just trying every way I can to open county government to make sure that people feel welcome here and make sure that when they're considering Spokane, they know that we embrace cultural diversity and that we embrace each and every individual human being, regardless of race, creed, sex, color, mm-hmm. Sure. etc. So we've one of the things we did is about a year and a half ago, I worked to champion a project where we actually put Ben's group together with Eastern, my alumni, as you mentioned.
Sure.
And they went out and worked with our rural communities and did some focus groups and helped them develop economic development plans in their community. And it was just a fabulous project where these rural towns that I'm very concerned about, mm-hmm. Rockford, Waverly, Elk, where it's very difficult from a funding standpoint to to stay alive and to stay healthy and to pay those bills to keep the roads paved. We went out there and reached out to them and to help them to kind of create a business plan for economic development.
In our closing moments together, what would you like to tell the folks about your passion for being reelected? What do you want to see happen with Spokane County next time around?
Well, obviously I want to continue the great work that we're doing, and I think that we're more civil, we're more inclusive, we're more open, and we're more transparent than ever before. But we've got some very serious issues that we're working on, and they need to be completed. And I'm very proud to say that we thanks to voters and some heavy lifting by all of us, passed the reintroduction of crime check. We've got a lot of areas in crime and public safety that need to be moved forward, and I'm waist deep right now as the lead commissioner on reforming the entire criminal justice system, Doctor. So where we are looking at every step of the process to be more efficient, more fair, more swift, and hold people more accountable, so that we can make our streets safer, but we can also save money in the meantime. And that's a project that is currently underway. For the first time in history, we have all the elected officials from around the region, as well as public safety partners, working on how do we make this thing better. And, of course, we need to resolve some of those issues. We need to expand our jail. It is bursting at the seams.
Yes.
And we've got way too many mentally ill in our jail, and we've got way too many competent losers out there on the street that need to be locked up. And so we need to fix that, and I'm all about doing that, and very passionate about completing that project as well as many other.
We thank you so much for your fine work. Quickly, what is your website if people want to learn more about you?
Thank you. It's www.richardforcommissioner.com, and that's RICHARDFOR commissioner.com, and it's all one word.
Okay. I want to thank you, Mark, for your fine service to Spokane County, and thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
You
God bless
betcha.
you. Thank you.
I want to thank all the sponsors for their support of the program. Keep sending in your comments and questions to www.acn.cc. And if you want to know more about me and my national nighttime show, go to therothshow.com. That's therothshow.com. Mark, what is that website they can get to know you more about?
www.richardforcommissioner.com.
Wonderful, and thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you, Dr. Roth.
Stay tuned for another candidate the next time around. I'm Laurie Roth.
Next week, same time, same station, you will hear another candidate for public office on Election 08, Issues and Answers. This program is sponsored and made possible by civic-minded Eastern Washington business owners who devote a portion of their advertising budget for community service programming. The participating sponsors of this public affairs program included Rockin' DW Construction, specializing in light commercial, medical office, and retail tenant improvements. You can thank DW Construction for their sponsorship of this program by phoning them now at 509-924-2466. Also making this program possible is Community Cable Service of Liberty Lake. Your comments and suggestions are welcome. Email acn@acn.cc. Join us next week for Election 08, Issues and Answers.